everyone. So welcome back to Rebirth TV. I am Stacy Benton, and I just want to thank you for coming back, watching the videos, listening to the videos, and just really want to encourage you to continue to watch the videos. And I do appreciate your time and your effort in actually participating in your healing journey from your complex trauma. So this is the main reason why Rebirth a Gift, the series was actually created, is to really help individuals that have gone through complex trauma. And that could be just say for instance, some examples would be domestic violence, childhood abuse, and multi-generational trauma, sexual assault, sexual abuse as a child, foster care, any type of event, a major illness, if you were a child or if you had an adult parent or a major caregiver that was diagnosed with a terminal illness or a mental illness. So complex trauma is a series of events that may have happened that cause you to experience a very painful or traumatic event. This could happen in childhood. It can also happen in adulthood as well. So right now, Rebirth a Gift is partnering with you so you can continue your journey and healing from your complex trauma so that you can have a supportive environment that is inspirational, motivational, and transformational. So I want you to feel like you have someone along the journey that's going to support you in a positive manner that may be outside of someone that, just someone that has actually experienced this type of trauma. And just to continue encouraging you to just keep pushing forward, taking one step at a time in your healing journey from your complex trauma. So we are in the Rebirth a Gift series, as you can see here. And this is our pilot that we are launching for Rebirth TV. So this is going to be a full concept and vision, but I just want to definitely just thank you for being the grassroots, being the first to really see the impact that these videos can have on your life. And my main objective is really not about specifically numbers, but it's about getting the content out there to you so that as you start to watch the videos, even if it's just one person, that's one person that has been touched or inspired, encouraged, motivated to continue their journey through a very difficult time. Healing from complex trauma is very difficult. It takes energy, it takes motivation, it takes resiliency. You have to be a person that's willing to push through despite the difficulties that's not only happening on a psychological level as a result of your trauma, but also other aspects of your life is also impacted. That is relationships, that is your career, your finances, your spiritual life. All these things are impacted as a result of your complex trauma. And sometimes this can be subconscious or it could actually be conscious. You may really know that, okay, I know that that event happened in my childhood, or that event when that thing happened to me, I wasn't the same. So now the Rebirth a Gift series is all about pulling back those layers. So I want you to encourage you to go back and watch the other videos because it's going to give you a full spectrum, and I'm also building a foundation so that you can continue on your journey and also continue your journey with the Rebirth a Gift series, because this will be a series. This is only a foundational premise that we're building right now. So just want to encourage you there to let you know that you are part of a movement. You're a part of something that's way bigger than yourself. And it's way more enormous. And And collaborative, definitely, is way more bigger than yourself. It's bigger than your experience. And I want you to feel that way. I want you to feel empowered, encouraged, motivated, that as you take your steps from point A to point B, you will notice that, okay, I can do this. It is hard. It is challenging. But I have not only the information, I have a support system, but I also have the encouragement that I need to take one step at a time, to put one foot in front of the other, to get out of the bed when I don't feel like going to work, or to study when I don't feel like studying for my finals if you're in college, or I don't really feel like working on my business if you're an entrepreneur. So these videos is a way to actually help you come to terms with what you've experienced, motivate you, encourage you to keep going. And it's not the end. Do not give up on yourself. And sometimes my method is very it's based on what I feel you need. So all the videos will definitely be about healing your trauma, but the format that I'm using is really just getting in touch with my audience, getting in touch with you as a listener, as a subscriber to Rebirth TV, because this is all about authenticity. As you become the new version of yourself, as you continue to grow, you will begin to rediscover your authentic voice again, your authentic self, your true identity. So this is what this is about. So that's why you will see sometimes the videos may not have a very structured format, but that is for a reason. It's a purpose behind that, because I want to build a emotional connection with you. Because when you are in these types of when you're experiencing complex trauma, the first thing you feel is isolation, anxiety, and depression. And you feel like there's no one there that really understands. So part of the Rebirth A Gift series is giving you the tools. And it's like I'm reaching out a hand to you to tell you, you're going to get through this. You can definitely get through your trauma. This is not the end of your life. This is not the end of the world, okay, for you. And you will soon rediscover, and that is the beauty of your of healing from your trauma, is that you will rediscover your true authentic self, your true authentic voice. So right now we are going back to the very basics. So the first part of the Rebirth to Gift series is conception. So if this is your first time listening in, I would encourage you, binge watch the other videos, okay? Because it's going to really be encouraging, inspiring, and also educating you on a lot of things that you may not quite understood on many different levels when you actually experience your trauma. So here we are doing the Rebirth A Gift series. This is part 1. As I mentioned before, we're in conception. I also want to encourage you to get a copy of your novel because soon throughout the series, we are actually going to start reading from the novel. I'm going to start expressing the characters in more detail. And also just giving you another way to look at or reflect upon or to reframe the trauma that you went through. So reframing is something that's very powerful to do because it transformed you from being a victim, okay, which you definitely is a victim, okay, but it allows you to reframe your trauma, to now dissect it, understand what happened, heal from it, and actually go through a restorative process that do take time. Again, this is a journey. So healing is a transformational journey. You cannot rush through this. And think about if you were to say, okay, I don't want to face this at this point in time in my life. Like I got too much going on. But think also on the opposite spectrum of that is, what are you missing out on by not tackling this problem? What are you, what are the aspects of yourself that you continuously diminish, and you're not really coming into evolving into the person that you see yourself to be? Okay, just your human spirit, just who you are, your identity, just knowing who you are as an individual. And one thing I want to point out here that I just really feel strongly led is that this is very non-judgmental. So when you come into watching the Rebirth A Gift series, it does not matter what nationality you're from, what sexuality you're from. It does not matter, because healing, what race, how much money you make, that's not the objective here. Because healing, it basically it goes beyond those boundaries that society may place upon you. So there's no judgment here. The only agreement, the only focus that I want you to have is that I am ready to tackle my trauma. I'm going to allow myself to let down my walls, let down my barriers, okay? Let down what I think my identity is, okay? And now I'm going to embrace the Rebirth A Gift series and go back to my childhood of where everything started. And during this examination, what we're going to start to dig deeper into is just seeing how that trauma framed not only your identity, but your future and your adulthood. So we're going back to the premise, which is conception, okay? Now, the Rebirth A Gift series also coincides with the novel. That's why I want to encourage you to get the novel. It's at barnesandnoble.com, amazon.com, because it's actually going to help. As you read the novel, as you go back to the beginning, it's going to take discipline. If you're a person who's very artistic and you just, you're very creative, you're kind of all over the place sometimes, which I understand, no judgment here, because I'm the same way. But the main thing I want you to do is to focus in. I want you to get serious about your healing, because the more that you run from this, the longer it prolongs you becoming who you know you can become. It hinders your ascension process. It hinders your healing process. Okay, so that's why it's so vital that you engage in the process of your healing. And if you're listening at the video for the first time, I want to encourage you. You cannot run from this no more. Running only prolongs the pain. And you may think it's the opposite, but it's not. Running only prolongs the pain, the emotional pain, the psychological pain, the financial pain of not having the money that you need because you can't get up for work, because you're tired, because you feel drained from all your emotional triggers. So it will all make sense if you commit. You commit to your healing journey. So I'm calling for you to be committed, not only into the Rebirth A Gift series. This is only a tool, but be committed to yourself to continue on in the journey and the process. So now you could become the person that you always imagined. So we're bringing that true, authentic self and voice into the forefront as a result of healing, as a result of healing your trauma. So you can no longer run. You can no longer hide. I am arresting you. I want you to make a commitment to yourself. Make a commitment to your children if you have children. Make a commitment to your future children. Make a commitment to your company that you always wanted to build. Make a commitment to that book you always wanted to write. Make a commitment to that album you always wanted to release, but you always felt stagnated and fearful.